Minimum wage today pays only a little over $15,000 a year. You cannot live on $15,000 a year. You can't bring up a family on $15,000 a year. You can't pay rent. You can't deal with health care. You can't deal with child care if you're earning a starvation minimum wage of $7.25. The argument of whether you provide health insurance for people who work 30 hours a week or whether they work 40 hours a week, whoa. In every major country on earth, healthcare is a right of all people. While the middle class continues to disappear, the wealthiest people in this country and the largest corporations are doing phenomenally well. And the gap between the very, very rich and everybody else is growing wider and wider. Is that really what the United States of America is supposed to be about? I don't think so, and I don't think most Americans think so. One of the first votes in the House that I cast was against the first Gulf War. I believe that history will record that that was the right vote, as was the vote I cast years later against the war in Iraq, a war which I consider to be one of the worst foreign policy blunders in the modern history of our country. 2/3 of senior citizens depend on Social Security for more than half of their income, and 1/3 depend on Social Security for almost all of their income. What does that mean? It means that we have people in Rhode Island, in Vermont, Massachusetts, California, they're living on $13,000, $14,000 a year. Now, I'm not quite sure how you live on $13,000 or $14,000 a year. But one thing I do know damn well is that you don't cut those benefits, you expand those benefits. Mr. President, climate change is, in fact, one of the great threats facing our country and the entire planet. We must transform our energy system away from fossil fuel to energy efficiency and sustainable energy.